Hi, everybody, bringing you an update about another one of Donald Trump's enemies list cases. This time I want to talk to you about Tish James, the Attorney General for New York State. Yesterday, her lawyers, her lead counsel is Abby Lowell. They filed a motion to dismiss the case against her. She said, in part, that the case, the charges stem from illegal and unethical behavior by the Trump administration. They said that the conduct that has been engaged in is outrageous and that they did things that they shouldn't have in order to overcome hurdles to bring the mortgage fraud case against her. Because that's their go-to, right? You'll see it, whether it is the latest Eric Swalwell or whether it's Lisa Cook, a governor for Federal Reserve Board, or whether it is Tish James. That's one of their go-tos. They look for anything in homes that were purchased and they try to say that actions were taken that were illegal or that false statements were made, something in that regard. I've done whole clips about how they don't want us to have anything, we're not supposed to own anything, and God knows we can't have two of something, multiple properties. Black woman? Oh no. So that's one of the tricks of the trade when what you're doing is pursuing lawless charges and using the DOJ as a personal arm of the presidency. But here's an interesting thing. Among all of the interesting things that were said, one of the things that they include, that Abby, on behalf of Tish James, HU, you know, one thing that is included is that apparently Fannie Mae officials saw no evidence of mortgage fraud against Letitia James. In the documents that were included in the filing is one June communication between Fannie Mae's director of mortgage fraud, Sean Soward, and Jennifer Horn, the vice president of financial crimes at Fannie Mae. Soward expressed concern that the case was, quote, clearly not clear and convincing evidence, end quote, of fraud, according to the filing. Now let's put two and two together and get four instead of three. If the case is not clear and convincing evidence of fraud, which is the standard for civil suit and for civil prosecution, do you think that the case meets the most stringent standard of beyond a reasonable doubt? You would have to know not just that you got probable cause to get something out of a grand jury, but that at trial you have evidence sufficient to prove your case beyond a reasonable doubt to a unanimous jury, which grand juries don't even have to be unanimous. They just have to be by majority. There has to be a quorum, and it differs from state to state and for federal cases. That's why it's always said prosecutor can get an indictment against a ham sandwich. It's just not that hard to do. But do you have the case is the issue? And it seems